because of your experience in your role in SAPS, as opportunity that perhaps his company or the company of your wife can do some or other business with SAPS?
That's not true, because if you look at the content of the lending program, they are all based in the municipality training, and also I am not in the training department. There's no way that he will have sent me the document thinking that he will do business with SAPS.
Do you accept that it's equally unlikely that he would send you training material for something that's completely unrelated to your specialization or your interest for that matter, or your current role?
Okay, and when he was telling me about the training opportunity, I indicated to him that I want to advance my skills, and I am the type of training that they are presenting. When he says he doesn't know it, he then forwarded it to me.
And you would want us to believe that he didn't know the training that his company was doing.
That's correct.
Thank you.
Lydia, for me, it's a different question, really. It is, if you would say to him, you wanted training for yourself, that's why you're interested in business, Buena Vista Learning, you want training for yourself, then I'm confused why he would send you this full batch of documents, because MJ4 is the accreditation notification, right? And then it lists what this organization is accredited for. Buena Vista is accredited what services, teaching services it's supposed to provide. I can see how maybe that is necessary information to someone who says, I want to join this institution. What actually training do they provide? But the preceding ones, MJ 1 up to 3, I don't see why he would have sent you this if it's for your training. What did you understand? How did you understand that this was? And by the way, if you look at the MJ1, the first one, MJ1, and you go from page 2 to the end of that document, it talks about NQF level trainings, which, and please forgive me if I'm wrong, which seems to be you are already out of that league. He knows that. He knows you. He's close to you, so he knows we're professional. We have qualifications really well. That he would send you something like this after you said to him, I want to consider enhancing my skills. He sends you something so random. But also that has nothing to do with you. What did you make of it? If you make anything?
He just forwarded the document to me as received, and I went through them, and I saw that this has nothing or is not relevant to my environment or the skills that I want to enhance. Nothing more than that, Commissioners.
Okay, thank you.
Brigadier, if we can then move from this, you'll see at page 13, it's a series of phone calls. And then if you go to page 14, in the middle of the page on the 23rd of January 2025 at 12:03, you sent, prior to that, there's 2 calls at 10:22, and at 12:03 you then send a message saying confirmed. Mr. Makala responds with a thumbs up emoji. Do you recall what the page 18 and it ends at page 19.
This is the same information that will be relating to the picture and the video that was played. This one will be in connection with the outstanding certificate of fitness, which were not submitted by his company.
So this was a non-performance complaint of sorts from SAPS.
That's correct.
And here again is your evidence that you got this, it wasn't related to you and it was just an update or random sharing of information.
That's correct.
Why would Mr. Matala send you this? If it has nothing to do with your work environment and it obviously has nothing to do with your relationship. It doesn't say anything about your relationship. Why does he send you this?
Because he related to me that he was struggling with one of the service providers that did not want to give him the certificate of fitness.
Yes. Well, why does he tell you that? Well, what are you supposed to do when he tells you that he's struggling with getting certificates of fitness?
Nothing. It's just sharing of information, maybe also wanting to talk to someone.
Is he not perhaps sending this to you so that you can speak to your colleagues internally to assist him get payment so that he can pay the service providers? I mean, it's strange that he would send you things that have nothing to do with you and that he doesn't expect you to do anything about.
This has nothing to do with the payment of Mr. Matlala.
Yes.
It's the outstanding certificate of fitness which he must submit to recruitment.
Yes.
Which he must submit to recruitment. Now he's just showing me that he's struggling with the service provider that he has contracted, because the service provider wanted money before he can give him the certificate of fitness. As shown on the video, they were negotiating with the service provider.
Yes, now I understand the video and how you've explained the video. What I don't understand is SAP's rights to him effectively complaining about performance of the contract, and he shares it with you, and there is no explanation why it's being shared with you. That's why I'm proposing to you that perhaps he sent this because you have had a discussion with him and he's showing you what's happening in your organization, and he's sending this to you so that you can assist him internally with your people.
There's no way that I will assist Mr. Matlala on a stream that I'm not involved in. Unless it was for medical surveillance in my environment, maybe then I will try to assist. But if it's for a different stream, there's no way that I will be able to assist him.
Well, you could assist him by speaking to your colleague in that stream to help him out. You could. There's always that possibility that you could speak to someone in that other stream to try and to understand what's going on, and then to see if you can assist him by using your relationship with someone. You understand what I'm saying, what I'm putting to you?
I do understand, but the only way that he will be assisted was to pay the service provider. Then the service provider must give him certificate of fitness so that he can submit it to the recruitment. From my side, there was nothing. Even when I talk, even if I can talk to my colleague, because it was for members that were supposed to go for basic training. Now he must must give certificate of fitness to show that those members, those students, they have already been tested. So there was no way that I could assist Mr. Matlala.
Well, you see, he's sharing with you his money troubles. Even that video, it's about a service provider saying we haven't been paid. We